Have you ever thought that Ruthless was missing something? Yeah, of course, movement skills, crafting opportunities, support gems. Well, your prayers have been answered. Yay! Presenting Ruthless with Gold. I played day 1 of Ruthless with Gold mostly out of curiosity. From the start, I noticed some obvious changes compared to the regular Ruthless game mode and discovered more as I progressed. In this video, I'll try to cover all the differences I can think of, their overall impact, and share my subjective experience. Let's start with the obvious question. What was the main difference between normal Ruthless and Ruthless with Gold, and how did it affect character progression and item acquisition? Finally, and obviously enough, the main difference was gold. Everything vending for gold instead of scroll fragments and transmutation shards made early item identification and selling a bit awkward on the run. It was easy to run out of wisdom scrolls, but I eventually realized they could be bought from the vendor for 50 gold coins each. However, this was not true for transmutations, which resulted in less opportunities to upgrade gear. Let's take a look at some other currencies. Not very affordable. For reference, here's me vendoring some items in Act 1, in Act 5, and in Tier 1 maps. One of the benefits of gold was you did not need to luck into an alteration to buy a decent weapon and could build up to it instead. This worked because the shop didn't seem to reset on level ups. In addition, there's a Gwenin type gambling NPC in every act. The items were steep priced both for early acts and mid progression. For my run, I decided not to gamble my gold coins because of the high cost with a potential low to medium reward. I can speculate, in late game scenarios, it may be a source of item bases and unique items. But Havoc, what if I just want the mystery box? Do I really need to figure out the gold stuff? No. For the most part, as long as you pick a non-currency reliant build like Cold Dot, you can get to level 45 without problems. And if you're wondering how to go about Cold Dot in this game mode without using gold, you can check out this run linked in the description. In this next section, I'll share what I enjoyed and did not enjoy about the event. Firstly, not needing to manage filters or even prepare one was a refreshing feeling. Preparing a filter can be a long and tedious process even if you are accustomed to it. The difference between preparing one and not was marginal at best. It was also quite refreshing to just focus on killing monsters, since the primary way to obtain upgrades was through identifying magic and rare items instead of sitting at our stash and spamming away the basic currencies. This in combination with the high scarcity of currency items and gold being only usable in high amounts causes us to reach the natural conclusion of not backtracking for small gold piles, but instead focusing on just going forward to slay more monsters. Furthermore, there was no gem or link pressure. Support gems in main auras are drop only and you have a very limited selection of active gems throughout progression. The result? Socket pressure is a thing of the past. Any support gems you do drop that are useful to you can be linked to 3 other main skills in a pro link, which is quite easy to manage during the run. Apart from the prior points, gold's unknown impact on the economy was exciting. Traditionally, PoE currency items have value outside of trading. However, this is not the case for gold. Mainly, gold is different in 2 ways. 1. It's globally accessible and balanced around not rarity but quantity. Second, and more importantly, it is not usable in crafting, but instead only usable for trading with vendors. With this in mind, if you have been playing PoE for a long time, your general understanding of items and their rarity will give you an insight into their value. But in Ruthless with Gold, PoE item valuation became a mystery to solve, which I found quite enjoyable. Now, what I didn't enjoy: gold pickup radius. Considering that most gold drops in smaller stacks and all over the place in a game mode where players do not have access to movement skills to travel across cliffs and screen-wide distances, needing to walk almost exactly on top of a gold pile so that it gets picked up is not a necessary design choice if you ask me. Subsequently, gold does not introduce new dynamic gameplay loops. It would be interesting if gold was a part of an active league mechanic, something more than just a Gwenin version 2 sitting in town, but I understand the connection and appeal of creating an experience similar to Diablo 2 in a Path of Exile world. Moreover, fun projects require too much time investment in a static gameplay environment. Do you want to gamble 1 million gold coins? Well, then get ready to experience hundreds of slow to clear, barren maps, which are mostly void of any engaging league mechanics, while trying to loot thousands of magic and rare items with a character that can only walk as this travel measure. Do you want a reverse knockback character for the real gold suction? Well, pulling off a character that is reliant on that many uniques could be challenging, considering this is the item quant and pack size modifiers on your average rare map. However, farming uniques is nowhere near as challenging as farming levels. For reference, these are the highest level players after 2 months of Ruthless SC trade. Unfortunately, when the event is just a month long, putting in the necessary hours to achieve said goals can be demanding. Of course, the irony of not wanting an inordinate amount of grinding in a game made by Grinding Gear Games is not lost on me. Finally, let's talk about the build and choices related to it. Why Occultist? Occultist or Witch gets most of the required gems as quest rewards. It also has strong ascendancy options. Void Beacon for nearby enemies have minus 20% cold resist in a game mode with limited multipliers, and Frigid Wake for freeze and chill immunity and 15% more cold damage are arguably mandatory. There are a couple strong third ascendancy options such as Profane Bloom for clear or Unholy Authority for dual curse. Even Withering Presence for 60% chaos resist or Vile Bastion for stun immunity while you have energy shield are not that crazy depending on the situation. Of course, other ascendancies are just as viable such as Elementalist, Hierophant, or Trickster. You'll notice on this tree I made a couple decisions to have a stronger early game, such as 60% to all elemental resistance, or going Mind Over Matter to have a large survivability pool before I get life rolls on gear. With Mind Over Matter, strong mana recovery is needed to avoid going so I swapped to 3 Quicksilvers, 1 HP, and 1 Mana Flask. I would like to emphasize this tree is very early game focused, and arguably not the best pathing for a character pushing to 90. I actually really liked Manny's Hierophant as a MOM base and would most likely do something similar but not exactly the same if I was to go again. Other alternative options are using A hybrid life ES setup spanning across the top half of the tree, or B, a life evasion ES setup traveling across the top right, and right side of the tree for suppression. In conclusion, I had a good time playing as much as I did, and I currently don't plan on playing more, but hey, it's a long event and maybe something will inspire me later. And if there's one thing to take away, watch out for act bosses. Especially in a party.
First Blood. Double kill.
Yeah! To quote Zizaran, try to die less than we did.
Triple kill.
At least it turned out to be a decent team building exercise.